But speaking of like other animes that kind of fell off,
Mm-hmm.
I guess something that you guys noticed was that My Heroes anime kind of has like
Mm-hmm.
not too many people are talking about it. Not too many people seem too excited about it. If I'm not mistaken, like there's a new season like right around the corner.
Yeah, and I haven't seen too much talk about it. Like, I'll watch it for sure. Like,
Absolutely,
I'm
'cause
gonna
I know
watch it.
exactly what's about to happen, and it's gonna be fucking great.
yeah, and I'm hoping actually that this season starts covering up to where I stopped reading the manga.
Yeah,
So then
yeah.
after that, I won't really know, and then I want to see maybe I'll enjoy it more from that perspective.
Okay,
But-
yeah.
I have been falling off of My Hero for probably the last year and a half now.
The story was just kind of starting to drag.
I didn't know where it was going, if
Yeah,
I'm being
that too.
honest, and it didn't seem like he knew where he was going with the story either.
I heard.
Yeah, I don't like overly OP characters.
That wasn't even really the problem.
I mean, there's Goku though. We love
Yeah.
Goku.
But the
Aladdin.
story is straightforward.
He's not really OP.
Huh?
He's just broken.
Okay. Oh, okay. I'll give you. That.
It's different. He had to like train.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I'm just gonna throw out the spoiler warning now for My Hero because I don't know what's gonna come up from the manga. So if you don't know anything past the anime, this is your warning in case something comes up. I only know really up until a little after the Stars and Stripe fight.
Mm-hmm.
Right? That is probably the last time I remember really enjoying My Hero Academia was that fight.
Mm-hmm.
And then I hated how that fight finished because it was so short and they actually killed her off.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, that's a really strong character with a really unique move that could have played a really interesting role in the overall war.
And you did it a one-off.
And they did a one-off and tossed her to the side for the plot convenience of Shigaraki getting that power, basically.
I mean, pretty much the like I see the whole reason why they did that is so it could rebel against his quirks.
Yeah, like I'm not upset at the concept of it. I didn't really like the execution, I think. Like I think she was just way too powerful to have lost that fight, I guess.
Yeah.
But she can't fly.
She can if she wanted to.
Yeah, but with Shigaraki, like one of the most important things is flight because of his decay.
He was at a disadvantage.
Yeah. He was.
If he's
flying.
in the air, that's why they have him like also past that. They ended up keeping him in this
They
like
juggled him.
in like a air prison or something. I don't even know what the fuck.
She
they do.
caught him. Like, remember?
Well, they did all that in the air because she can control what's going on up there. But like, remember, she can't fly. She was jumping from plane to plane.
I know, but she's more like suited to fight in that kind of environment because of the nature of her powers than Shigaraki is. Shigaraki was at a complete disadvantage that entire time because his power relies on decaying the things that he can touch.
Mhm.
If all he can touch is just air, he can't really do too much outside of the extra bullshit that All for One gave him, which I don't even remember what he has now. I think that like the reason she lost was it almost was like on a technicality because she didn't know his actual name. Like Shigaraki is not his name. He has like an actual name.
Yeah, that did bother me.
That being the reason, it's kind of like a Martha situation from Batman v Superman. Like that's the reason, a fucking name. Like that's what's stopping this. I don't know. It's maybe a really shitty comparison, but it's the first thing that came to mind, and I was just like, fuck, like that. It could have been done better. I would have preferred anything else. I think.
We'll see how they do it in the anime.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes, and I'm still excited to see it animated because that fight was fucking awesome.
Dude, I want to see them animate air pressure like that.
Mm-hmm. No, it's gonna look really cool.
Oh yeah. As long as it's not fucking daytime.
Yeah, and okay,
Hey,
that
now.
leads to the next like
It
thing.
was.
So yeah, it is daytime, but I mean, how many times have you heard? And we talked about this a little bit with Taylor on the last episode. The big blue sky in My Hero Academia. It's kind of like a running theme that a lot of the fandom has like been complaining about for a few years now, for the last few seasons, of just the fact that like anytime that there's a fight or anything major going on in the story, it's always done with the exact same backdrop. It's just a bright blue sky, like in the middle of the day, like sunny.
I mean, if you're a hero and you don't want collateral damage, you're gonna take it to where there's nobody who could get hurt. I feel like it makes sense.
No. I'm not talking about them fighting in the sky. I'm okay with where they are. I'm talking artistically, like the way it looks. You can pick up any other anime that has decent animation and find an episode where there's like a major battle in the middle of the day, and like more often than not, you can see a pretty clear difference between how the sky looks and how just like the environment looks as they're fighting versus My Hero's version of doing it. It's just there's no texture to it. I think there's no like sense of risk,
Yeah,
or like,
sure.
like it's a big fucking deal. Let me take the liberation war that we just saw in this past season, right?
Mhm.
All of that shit, like when you compare it to the manga, right? Obviously it's black and white, like that's besides the point, but it's way more gritty. Like it felt like the stakes were way higher because this is a big fucking deal. This man is about to kill everybody there. The destruction looked a lot more intense, I guess. When you see that in the anime, I don't get the same feeling whatsoever. And it's kind of the reason that I didn't like the villain arc in the anime compared to the manga. Because again, it's just bright colors, bright blue sky, but there's no aura around it that makes you feel like, oh, this is like a destruction of an entire city. It just didn't feel as intense.
I guess
I
even
don't know if I'm explaining this
when I did
right.
read the manga, I did kind of like, I guess, perceive it with like a darker kind of
Mm-hmm.
sky. Like that's just, I guess, I don't know, I want to say expect, but like it just helps with like, I guess, helps kind of shift the mood to what's really going on. Like this isn't kids during a sports festival, trying to compete and show off their skills. Like, no, people are dying.
Yeah, like the stakes have
like-
been a lot higher for a while now, and the
Mhm.
state of the world in the story of My Hero is not the same.
Their
Like,
prisons like been fucking completely
yeah,
demolished. Like, granted, like they got kind of, I can't remember to be honest, because it was kind of disappointing. His whole fight against what's her name?
Lady
Nagant.
Nagant.
Yeah, wasn't this guy like?
That was at night,
Oh, okay.
and that was like the only time that the scenery has actually.
Am I
looked
the
a little
only one that perceived that fight like raining?
I thought it was raining in the manga.
See,
Was
thank
it
you.
not? Was it not in the anime?
It's been a fucking minute.
I'll have to double check that. But see, like that one at least visually looked a little different.
Mm-hmm.
Even something like that, it's a little bit better. It's just like the daytime scenes, like a daytime slice of life episode in that show looks exactly the same as a daytime like final boss battle episode. And that's where my issue lies. It's just the fact that they both shouldn't feel the same. There should be a little bit of difference between the feeling of a slice of life and them just kind of being at school and them preventing the city being destroyed. Am I like, I don't know if that makes any sense.
No. Yeah, no, I get what you're saying.